Oh, please.
No, we're done. No, we're done. You're under arrest.
Hey.
We're done.
Sir, I haven't been
No,
training. Hey,
Seriously. Hey.
Well, there you go.
Hey.
Daisy's here with me. Erin's on her way. So we remember the video. We remember the nurse from the University of Utah. We know that Detective Payne there, the guy with the bald head. But what's happened to them? This happened July 24th. We're going to tell you coming up exactly what did happen. And you know what? It's going to make you very happy.
Yeah.
You think so? So Daisy, were you ever left anywhere when you were a child?
No. I think I was kind of dominant enough that my parents couldn't kind of forget me even if they wanted to.
Right.
I did stick a fork into just right under my mum's eye once, but that's not the same as getting lost.
Is that an accident?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. She was behind me and I was eating and I was like, oh, and it just went right under her eye. Were you?
I used to run away a lot. You know,
oh, you did.
We were camping across the country and go to the national parks, and I'd find a lake, and I'd want to walk all the way around, and all I could hear is my dad yelling across the lake. Durr!
Yeah.
And I knew a beating was on its way.
Right.
In a family, healthy way.
Yeah.
We've talked to other people, though. We talked about this when we were doing radio, and people were left at rest stops and at gas stations.
Oh, man.
And parents drove off. And they drove like 30 or 40 miles, and all of a sudden they go, "Where's Joey?"
Right.
And they look in the rearview mirror, especially if you had multiple kids. And the little Joey sat there, and they drove for an hour, so it would take another hour to get back, which is scary. But it does happen.
It does happen.
Not maliciously. But West Jordan, did you hear the story? A family left a 3-year-old in a corn maze.
3-year-old.
Corn maze. Now, I know the object of a corn maze is to make you get lost.
Yes.
But the two families went, and they share a house. Two families share a house, and they have multiple kids. The weird thing is, the mom didn't call the police until the next morning at 7:45.
And here's the bit I can't quite get my head around is
Right.
like, okay, even if you drive off and then are like, oh no.
Right.
So if it's a 3-year-old, what about the going to bed process? You know, this isn't a 10-year-old who's like, night, mom, and
Right.
you know,
Right.
don't you have to
Brush teeth?
3-year-old, put them in their jams? I mean,
Right.
That's. And they did, you know, the police, I spoke to Sergeant Monson yesterday, and he said although it was, you know, multiple families, etc., police are saying that the mom was at the corn maze.
Okay, so she forgot.
I mean, maybe separate cars, but still.
Someone
right
else was
through
a
the night.
babysitter. So anyway, the corn maze people grabbed the kid, obviously. They were yelling with a megaphone over the crowd saying, "Hey, we've got a kid, we've got a kid." Until closing time, they stood at the gate offering a baby to anybody,
Right.
and they didn't. No one showed up. I've never forgotten my dog in my car. I've never forgotten raw chicken that I just went to the store to buy. I was going to make for dinner.
Right.
I'm
right.
like, oh, got to get the chicken out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And what the child services was called, I don't know where this is going to go.
Yes,
But
and they're also being a little bit, you know, I asked yesterday, is the child back with the family? And,
Right.
you know, the police are very much saying now, no, this is now in the hands of, you know, Child and Family Services.
Right.
We can't say if the child's back. And they have, you know, West Jordan Police is definitely implying there's more to the story that we can't say.
all right,
But what is that?
right.
I mean, everyone's just super curious.
So that's
you know?
we're going to find out. You know that's going to happen. You're going to find out for us.
Yeah.
All right. So the University of Utah, I'll take you back July 24th. We just saw the video just a little while ago. And Sheriff Payne, or was it Detective Payne? Anyway, he's up the hospital, and there was a head-on collision with a semi. And the driver, innocent, he wasn't doing anything. He was just driving along. Received multiple burns and things like that. And for some reason, Payne wanted to get a blood sample, even though he wasn't a suspect of anything.
Right.
The nurse wouldn't let him because that's part of the procedure. And next thing you know, we've all seen this. Nationally, they've all seen this, and he arrests a nurse trying to do her job. And you might want to think, what happened? And there he is. And also, what about the supervisor that's with him and telling him how to handle this afterwards? Because there is like 5 cops or 4 cops or something with cameras on, which pick up all the audio and pick up the discussion that they have at this point outside. And it just, and the nation was just, I saw like national shows commenting on this.
Oh, sure.
Because it was just like, what?
Yeah.
He's been fired.
And his supervisor's been demoted
Right.
as well.
For not stepping in. That is crazy. He says he's lost confidence. He's lost confidence in the detective. So he is now done. And his job at Denny's. That probably went down the tubes as well. That is crazy. But you know what? You don't arrest people for doing their job. She's just following protocol.
Right. And it just escalated into something really intense and strange, that. But then if you leave him in the job, does that happen again? Does that give him free reign to, it's tricky. It's tricky, isn't it?
I always think that maybe they just had a bad morning. Spilled some coffee.
Yeah, didn't have their coffee.
Right. Had too
Maybe.
much coffee.
Too much.
Had bad coffee too much.
Bad donut.
I don't think there is such a thing as a bad donut.
I don't know if it's stale.
Still
no
you're
such
still
thing.
going to eat it.
Yeah, true.
The fires.
My gosh.
I talked to my friend again. The house destruction, business destruction number is hit 1,700. I don't think anybody can really fathom that.
No.
1,700.
Right.
So that means you're looking across neighborhoods, and all that is standing are chimneys and washers and dryers, believe it or not. That's the only evidence. The only thing higher than 4 feet is the chimneys. And the firestorm went through. My friends own the vineyard in Santa Rosa. And it came really close. But some of the bigger, I was at the liquor store last night in the wine section, and some of the Glen Ellen and the major ones, they were burned out. And they've already harvested, but now they have to worry about, the biggest thing you have to worry about, the loss of life, obviously.
Well, and that's the other thing that I found really interesting is I don't know if this is the case. I think it is still this morning that they're saying about 100 people are unaccounted for.
That's true.
And even in the wildfire here, the Brian Head fire, which was super intense, they did at least have time to say, okay, evacuate. And the fact that this has got out of control so quickly, that many structures have been lost, and then they're saying, hey, there's 100 people that we don't even know.
Right.
I mean,
because you wouldn't think about calling the police and saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm fine." You'd get out, get with your family, and set up and wait to see if you can get back into your house to see if it's still there.
Unbelievable.
But that is one gentleman, a friend of ours on Facebook last night was talking about a firestorm. And a firestorm, it's like really interesting, is the fact that there's a wind behind the fire and things ahead of the fire, not yet being touched by the fire, start superheating.
No way.
And they catch fire even before the fire gets to it. And they just start going up and going up. Because the wind is like, it's a different than a snowstorm and a blizzard. Blizzard has huge amount of wind behind it and causes a lot more damage.
Right.
But anyway.
Isn't that scary? Oh, terrifying.
And our friends spent the night again in their tasting room, which is a cave, which a lot of the wineries have caves, where they store their wine as it ferments. But I mean, it's just, we'll give you an idea. A lot of you have been to Disneyland. Let's take a look. So,
oh my gosh.
How's that look?
Oh, it's so scary.
It is.
Look at that.
It looks like one of their special effects.
Yes, it does.
They got another one too, I think.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
That looks like totally different.
Well, and also like, okay, so you're there at Disneyland, like enjoying your day or whatever, and then that's happening in the background. Like, well, it's, I mean.
It's also emphysema time because what's the air quality on this?
Right.
All right, you've done acting.
I have indeed.
You have to. Have you done any movies?
Yes.
Which movies?
Well, no, actually not movies. I've been I've been an extra and stuff, but that was mostly back in England. I haven't been an extra for anything over here, but it's a super cool way. You know, having small parts in movies or TV series is a really good way of getting kind of on set and, you know, meeting people and seeing how it all works.
I made a horrible movie back in 1980.
What was it called? Was it Christmas? Was it a Christmas movie?
No, it was called Nightmare at Noon. And it was a mad scientist poisoning the water. There was an albino. George Kennedy was in it. You don't know who that is. And this other guy, Bo Hopkins, you don't know who that is.
What was your role?
I was the DJ. The
DJ.
The country DJ. And I was horrible.
Did you have lines?
I did. I got to talk to the star of the show on set doing my lines. He's warning me about the zombies. And I'm drinking a cup of coffee like this. I was so bad at I was like, okay. I'm going to lock the door. Okay. Yeah. She's going, no, you got to be really careful. Okay. I was kind of mouthing his lines, too.
Oh, that's the best. My dad's been in a movie. He was in one of the Harry Potter movies, which is quite cool.
What?
He did it for the on-set catering. I'm not even kidding. Do you remember the third Harry Potter movie where there's all the Harry Potter fans are going to be like, yes, I remember this, but I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. So there's a big, I think, you know, it's somewhere at Hogwarts, and there's a big wall of pictures that then move and kind of come to life.
And they say hi to the people walking by, right?
Well, my dad's one of those. One of his really good friends is like, do you want to be in Harry Potter with me? My dad's like, well, will they pick me up in a car, and how will the on-site catering be? And Justin's like, yeah, they will, and probably really good
catering.
So he went, and it's like two old men, and one of them says to the other, he's like, Dad had lines and everything.
Wow.
Are you asleep? Well, I'm awake now. And one of those is my dad. Oh my gosh.
Wow, and Harry Potter. It's no Nightmare at Noon.
No, it's no Nightmare at Noon.
But it's a nice try.
Yeah, nice try, Dad.
My RV.
Set your bar a little higher.
My RV, my old beat up RV, was almost in Independence Day.
No. What happened there?
Well, they wanted, if you remember the movie, all the RVs are going across the salt flats, and they're trying to get to the government base, right?
Was that Utah?
Yes,
Amazing.
it was. And they were all spread out, and there's 100 of these old RVs coming, ripping across the salt flats, and they meet up with Will, what's his face? And so I got, they said, bring your old RVs down, and I was like, yeah. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be in the movie. And then I couldn't start my RV.
Oh, that's like probably the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I know.
So everyone else is like roaring off.
I'm like,
oh, no.
And that's a cool movie. It's no Nightmare at Noon.
No Nightmare at Noon.
And the Nightmare at Noon, the good thing was it had 3 endings, and they used them all, which is so good.
It just ended.
They just
and then
kept adding
again,
stuff in, and it just wouldn't end.
I'm gonna go home and watch Nightmare. Where can I get it from? It's on YouTube.
I think the waste bin.
Oh, the waste bin.
Not the $3 ones. The ones that are free, they pay you $1, take them away. It is truly horrible and good for me. But now, where I was going with this is here's your chance to be famous.
Westworld.
Now, tell me about Westworld, because I'm not...
Well,
I know it happens.
I can tell you about Westworld today, but yesterday, before I wrote the story about HBO looking for extras for Westworld, I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was just a standard Western.
Right.
And apparently it's like, I might have to lean over to look at what I wrote, but it's like, it's some kind of... weird kind of futuristic like amusement park.
1890s. There was actually a movie.
It sounds crazy.
And I'm not sure if it's of the same name. And so those are all robots.
Yeah.
So we have robot prostitutes and robot sagebrush and robot people, Indians, Native Americans, and I'm not sure in this one which ones. So basically, it was like Disneyland, but you could shoot people.
Do you remember Yul Brynner?
Yul Brynner.
Yul
Yes.
Brynner.
That's what it was.
Oh my gosh.
And so he was, and they had robots, and they would shoot back, and they went out of control, and they started shooting the guests.
And listen, you can be in this.
Right?
I mean, the cast, that's the other thing. So the other things that I was like, how did I miss this?
Right.
22 Emmy noms.
Right.
And the cast includes Sir Anthony Hopkins. I don't think he's going to be in the second series, but what's his bucket?
His bucket.
That guy.
Sir Bucket.
That one guy.
Right.
Evan Rachel
He's
Wood.
about this tall.
Now it's really bugging me who it is.
You're going to come back up with it. I know you will.
Yeah.
So usually
Evan, Thandie Newton, James Marsden.
middle name Bucket.
Middle name Bucket.
And usually they look for someone who's like 5'2.5", right? Blondish hair, beautiful eyes.
Right.
It's
very precise.
Okay, so this is what
I know, it's so funny, isn't it? The facial hair part.
they're looking for. Everyone, Native Americans, Chinese, Western men, women, military types, all types are needed. They keep saying that, that, and buckets, and all ages. And they're looking for people who have hair. Clean shaven, no.
Yeah.
Women, no hair.
Yeah.
With hair.
Yeah.
Long hair.
Yeah.
Tell me about the face hair. This.
Well, that's the best because they're very specific. They're like, you can have beards,
Right.
moustaches, mutton chops of the era, and all the bearded men are going, yes. And then it's
Yes.
like, but you can also be clean shaven. You could be a guy
Or a girl with
or
a beard.
girl. If you're a girl with a beard, we want you even more.
That's right.
Like,
I think so. What they want you to do, and there is pay
yeah.
and catering probably.
Yeah, well, my dad will be on the first plane.
Be like Chick-fil-A. But anyway, so they do pay. What they want you to do is take a selfie.
They don't even require a
8 by
headshot.
10.
I wonder if this is like a scam.
No, I think it's real. Westworld,
Just
Utah.
take a selfie, include $500, and apply to this email address,
you too.
starsru.org. You know?
Size requirements. Here you go.
Yeah.
Men, height. You need weight.
Oh, that's what you got to send when you apply.
Right, what you're wearing.
And of course, everyone's like, I'm 6'2", I weigh 120 pounds.
Right,
and
muscle.
I'm all muscle.
And this is a little sexist.
Bust size.
Bust size
yeah.
for women. Height, dress size, bust size, hips, toes, shoes. Why? They didn't ask that really for the men.
I
And
know.
next thing you know, they're doing the TSA thing on you.
And the thing, the thing that's kind of interesting about this is this is for filming for season 2, and they want people in mid to late October. And I'm like, wow, you guys are pretty sure of yourselves, because last
Right.
time I looked, it kind of is mid-October. So
They better get
if you
on
had
it.
another job, you might not be able to do this. But I will say, as a former actor, if you can get into this, it is cool. Do it.
It's because it's no Nightmare at Noon, but it's good.
And you might meet that actor that I cannot remember. It's someone
Bucket's
like
Bucket.
It's someone like Ed Harris. I'm gonna Google. It's actually.
Let's do it.
bugging
I'll
the
wait, because I
crap
know
out
this
of
is
me.
killing you.
It's killing
Don't you
me.
hate this? I do this at home all the
It's
time.
killing me.
And then an hour and a half later, someone yells out an actor's name, and you're like, "Oh, that's right."
It's the it's always at 3.
Oh, by the way, if you want to do this, you take your selfie. Your requirement is to write in all your sizes and stuff. They want the guys to wear a jacket, a shirt, pants, and shoes. Where are you going to find those? And you send it to westworldutah@gmail.com. Once again, if you're famous, we'll have you on the show. westworldutah@gmail.com.
Oh, Ed Harris.
You said
I
Ed
hate
Harris.
Ed Harris. Yeah,
Okay, that's what otherwise known as.
the Man in Black.
And what's his bucket?
And what's his bucket? Oh, okay. I feel so much better
you?
now. I have that in my mind. Yeah, it's just one of those things that.
Have you been hacked yet?
Not that I know of.
Did you check?
Well, I put the last 4 digits of my social into that thing, but then my brother was like, well, that was a hack too.
Oh,
So it's
no.
confusing,
We got hacked. Equifax happened. 2 weeks later, we got hacked 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
3 times. Now,
And when you say hack, do you mean people actually take, pulling money out of your bank account?
They try to. Well, that's our security system. We don't have any.
Oh, that's
See?
a good idea.
It's smart.
Uh-huh.
We like to bury our $2 in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
No, they try to open things. They try to open loans. They try to open credit cards. And so that shows up on our stuff because we keep an eye on it because we're protecting our $2.
Yes.
And so all of a
exactly.
sudden, Erin finds it and she says, "What's that? Did you open a no?"
Oh my
So you have to start making the phone calls, and you have to start freezing everything, and which screws your life up. Unbelievable. Just in the last week, someone tried to open 3 credit cards in our name.
Okay, and I have to say, like, I know this stuff happens, but who has time for this? You know, I mean, like,
Wait.
hey, hackers, like, I don't have time. I need to watch Midnight at Noon. What was it called?
Or Westworld,
What was your show called?
Nightmare at Noon.
Nightmare at Noon. Hackers, like, back off. I need to watch Nightmare at Noon. I don't need to be dealing with this.
I can't believe it happened so quickly.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And it's just at random, I'm sure. But so basically, what they've come up with is some secret clues and secret things so you don't get hacked.
Oh, what is it?
And, do you know? Is one of the main targets is small businesses with less than 1,000 employees. And here's the hard part: 60% of those businesses do not recover.
Oh, see, that's crappy.
60%. So you start a company and you're making soap, and you start in your garage, and now you've got a storefront, and now you're shipping it around the country, and then you get hacked, and then you close down because you can't come back.
That's lame. Now I'm mad.
I don't think they're really worried about their image.
No, I don't think they are too.
All right, so I'm going to give you these secret things. Okay, look at number 1. What does it say?
Always change a device's initial default password and regularly update. I didn't know I don't think my device has a password.
Well, it doesn't.
I don't know.
Do you lock your phone?
No.
You just push the button and your phone's right there. Okay, that might be an issue. Except if you have kids, because my iPad just got locked out by my son.
Oh,
he was like 1, 2, 3,
perfect.
4. No, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
no. Oh, and it usually says try again in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mine said closed.
You're done.
Done.
Yeah.
I had to take it to Apple.
Oh, did they fix it?
Yes, they did. It was rather simple. I'm just an idiot. So don't use your default code that comes with it, which is like admin or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. Change it to a secret.
That's not a big. Most people know that, don't they?
That doesn't seem very secret.
Stay current with updates and patches. That's pretty common, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, remember you swear at your computers because you got to do work, and it says, "Oh no, 75 updates."
You don't really have a choice,
And
do
you
you?
just
You're like,
sit
okay.
there, right?
Oh, it's the worst.
So those are 2 basic things.
Yeah.
Never open email from an unknown
Whoa.
source.
Wow.
When did this happen?
This is so crappy. Like, these aren't good at all.
And this
What's
is
the
like
fourth one?
avoid use of public Wi-Fi.
Oh, come on.
Like coffee shops and stuff like that, right? So far, and live in a cave under a rock.
These are lame.
They are lame.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do these things, you deserve pretty much to be
You
hacked.
deserve to be hacked. Small business owners.
Okay, but we're just kidding because we know.
No, we love you.
It's a horrible thing. All right, it is time for information with Daisy, and this is being brought to you today by Utah Credit Approval. These people, if you've gone bankrupt, they can help you. If you have $500 a week that you're making, you can actually get a car, and they're going to help you do it, and you pay directly to the bank. It's a cool thing. Also, Columbus Travel. If the weather today is driving you crazy, you need to get on a ship and go someplace tropical or go to Mexico. Just go to columbusvacations.com. And also all Utah Plumbing. These guys are characters. They're wonderful. They're going to fix everything you need fixed in your home. So if you need a plumber or heating or air, it's all Utah Plumbing. All right, let's get some headlines. Daisy.
Yeah, here's what's making headlines Wednesday, October 11th on GetPartDaily.com. Jeff Payne, the Salt Lake City police detective who gained notoriety after roughing up a nurse during an arrest attempt at the University of Utah Hospital, has been sacked by the chief of police. Chief Mike Brown fired Payne Tuesday and demoted his supervisor, Lieutenant James Tracy. Brown wrote in a termination letter he had lost faith and confidence in the detective's ability to serve in the department. The Salt Lake City Police Department confirmed the firing and demotion. Body cam video showed Payne losing his cool as he arrested nurse Alex Wobbles for refusing his illegal request to perform a blood draw on an unconscious patient. Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill is requesting the FBI review the officer-involved shooting, which claimed the life of Patrick Harmon, a 50-year-old black man killed while running from police in downtown Salt Lake City earlier this summer. Harmon had been stopped after he was seen pedaling his bicycle erratically down State Street in the middle of the night. And while being questioned, Harmon bolted and was shot 3 times running from police. Gill originally ruled the shooting was justified, saying body cam videos showed Harmon turning toward officers while brandishing a knife. Monday, however, Gill changed course, saying that given the seriousness of the case and the intense public interest, the FBI should investigate. And police are also investigating after a 3-year-old boy was left behind at a West Jordan corn maze Monday night. West Jordan Police Department was called to the crazy corn maze at 8800 South 4000 West at approximately 8 p.m. when a woman noticed the child had been left behind. Police were unable to locate the child's parents, so the little boy spent the night with the Utah Division of Child and Family Services. And at 7:42 a.m. Tuesday, West Jordan Police received a call from the boy's mother saying she couldn't find her child and thought he might have been left at the maze. Monson said it was a case of multiple families with multiple children living in the same dwelling and one of the children being left behind. No citations or charges have been filed as of Tuesday afternoon, Monson said, but the incident is still under investigation. And time now for a look at the weather along the Wasatch Front, where we'll see a dip in the temperatures over the next couple of days, but Wednesday's high will be near 70, and then we dip into the 50s on Thursday. Nighttime lows will be in the 30s by the weekend. And that's it for now. More local headlines 24/7 on GebhartDaily.com.
All right, so I was hanging out with John from Utah Plumbing. Utah Plumbing. Hi, Erin. Come on in. Utah Plumbing, they're going to fix. I'm talking about Utah Plumbing. Oh, Utah Plumbing, they're going to help you out. We talked to John yesterday. We talked about furnaces and such. And what happens with the furnaces is that he can upgrade you from like 40, 60% efficiency. 60%, that means 40% of the money you're paying to heat your home is going up the chimney and bring you up to a 97%. Now, the money you're going to save, the warmth you're going to do, and they can maintain these. So if you just need a tune-up, $69. That's only for this week, $69. Just go to allutahplumbing.com. All right, so tell me something good.
I am so sorry.
You matter me. Okay, so you want to just talk.
Okay,
They just show up, and so they might want to know if you're okay.
No, I'm very, very sorry. No, our daughter had some weird allergic reaction last night, so beds got shifted around, and apparently phones with alarms got shifted around, and somebody went to work nice and early and didn't kick his wife awake, so I'm really sorry.
It's not my I love you so much.
Who was that with the child? You could have just said, hey, is your alarm on?
I was the child whisperer last night. I walked in. She's up sobbing and crying, and I rubbed her feet. And Erin's on the phone calling the doctor at 1 o'clock in the morning. I rubbed her feet, and I said, "Do you want to go to bed with me?" And she goes, "Yes." And I picked her up, and I cuddled, and I walked in. I put her in the bed next to me, and then she fell asleep. And Erin was so pissed off about that, weren't you?
I was very happy that our daughter could go to sleep.
No, you were.
I was very happy that our daughter felt better and she could go to sleep.
I could smell the rage.
It was more like hate. It really was. It was more like hate at that point.
You walked in,
Okay.
and I said, she's sleeping. She's just cuddled right here. You know how that is. She's just a little thing. And I said she cuddled, and Erin, I could see. It was dark, but I could see her face doing this. Great. That's great. She just sleeps right now with you. Great. I'm really happy about that. The good thing is she's better. Oh.
As you touch my hand again, I'm going to bite it off.
Okay.
I'm
right.
very happy that you were the child whisperer that got our sobbing daughter
It doesn't
to
happen
sleep
often, but
after
when it
6
does,
hours.
it's sublime. All right.
Would you give me the thing for tell me something good? It is you matter, if you can find
I
it.
was looking for that. 2 words changed
It's
half a million lives.
It's 2 words that changed a million lives.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Thank you. All right, tell me something good. As you know, usually starts at a really hard way. It ends up in a happy way. Thank you for getting our daughter to sleep because she was incredibly miserable. You know those projects that make you feel like you're insane because you can't make it work, nothing's working
Like
for
what
you.
kind of project?
Well, just something at work, or maybe there's something going on with one of your kids that you just can't fix, or
Right.
whatever it is. You just feel like you're spinning your wheels and you feel hopeless. Well, Cheryl Rice was one of those. and she was doing something at work where she just felt incredibly dejected. She didn't even
Rejected.
I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, she felt really bad.
Okay.
She felt shut up. She felt bad.
Right.
Then a colleague gave her a card that changed anything. See, here's one of the deals. You know when you're going through a really rough time, how you feel like you're alone?
Right.
Like nobody gets it. It's you,
Right.
and it's like I'm on my own here.
Yeah.
Nobody's got my back.
Right.
And when she read it, she started crying. She said, for a long time, I've struggled with my own self-worth. And I think a lot of us have that feeling of believing that we matter, that we're enough. And the card was very simple. It said, you matter. Now, here's the interesting thing. People who have been getting this card start ordering their own, or they start making their own with index cards or
this
whatever.
is like a nice chain letter?
It's turned into a global chain. So what people are doing is they're taking it a challenge where they take their 100 cards, and then they go throughout the month, and they look for people, and it could be a complete stranger on the street, maybe it's your neighbor, whoever it is, and they wait for that moment. And the website talks about what you're waiting for, what you're looking for, because people often will carry this stuff in silence. And when you see it, you walk up and you just give them the card
And
say,
then disappear.
I just wanted to give you this, and you leave.
Like a flash mob, but one person with a card.
And what they're saying, though, is that over 500,000 cards have been ordered now, and people are distributing these like crazy to people who they know really need that moment. They need that belief.
And they're not being ordered from a company, so it's not like a, right?
It's not like a moneymaker thing. It's just like the website will just send them to you for free. Like, here are the cards.
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Or, you could go down.
And people make their own, too. It doesn't matter.
Well, you go down to a business card place, and you could have like 1,000 of them for $9.
Isn't that gorgeous? So people have been leaving them in strategic locations, like in the credit card holder at the gas pump for someone who was kind of sad.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
In library books, on car windshields. I just love the concept of that.
That is cool.
It was like a really cool movement that, once again, it's those two small words that, like, and we've talked about this before, you and I, that I love you is a very powerful statement.
Yes.
But for me, the most powerful thing you can say to me is, I'm proud of you. Because it tells me that there was something of, like, worth. I accomplished something of worth, of value.
Right.
Because you can, like, love a pet. I mean, you can love your sweater. But to say, I'm proud of you, to me, is the biggest deal. Okay. And so that's what the phrase, you matter, is for people, for strangers.
Right.
Because it's the same thing. If you have
It's
shown
affirmation,
something of
isn't
value.
it? Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's very cool.
That was a very wonderful movement.
We want to talk about
Christopher's.
us saying thank you to you for watching and listening and all the different places that we're stalking you, basically. We want to send you to Christopher's, have a wonderful steak dinner with 3 of your best friends, and go down there. And the place is gorgeous. The staff is wonderful. The ambiance, the side dishes.
The food.
Are unbelievable.
Oh, remember that thing with the asparagus and the béarnaise sauce?
And there's a certain elegance about this, but it's not snooty, which I think is kind of a cool thing. So if you want to win
Lobster corn dogs.
all you
Do you remember the lobster corn dogs and the cheesecake?
okay, all you have to do is
Okay, all you have to do is just drop us a comment right now. If you're watching the show at this point, we know you're hearing us talk about Christopher. So if you drop a comment about wanting to go to Christopher's, you are then automatically entered. You can do that on the Facebook page for Gephardt Approved, Gephardt Daily, or on the Todd and Erin page. We draw a winner on Friday. I call you. Everything gets set up. Your life is happy, and congratulations.
all right. Coming up, the worst no, the most elaborate no, the proposal that I'm really surprised the person wasn't shot for, and that's coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
So, Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, so I have wedding proposals. My proposal to you is fairly simple, straightforward. heartfelt.
I thought it was perfect.
Other people we know have put an armor on and ridden in on a horse.
And they had
Not my style.
And they had a whole princess dress set for her. But yeah, for them though, it was the epic story that
Right.
they got to tell forever.
Hot air balloons,
Mm-hmm.
helicopter rides, plane rides, parachuting. Trying to think of all the elaborate things. On top of a huge mountain, rappelling, whitewater rafting. All these things making it really like big and, big.
Really, I mean, yeah, explosive, over the top, wild, and some people love that. They want the pageantry and the excitement.
Exactly.
Some people want something very, very small. Whatever it is, it's nice, except for when
This
it puts
one.
you in deathly fear first, and
Right.
then, so yeah, tell them how this works.
Deputy Kevin Bowes, he is a California sheriff, and he arranged this that his girlfriend, who he wanted to propose to, he's trying to think about what to do, how to make it special. So what he did is he got one of his buddies, another officer, to pull her car over. He wasn't with him. To pull her car over and have him extract her from the car for a DUI test. So she's...
I've never been pulled out of a car for a DUI, but
She's-
there was one time an officer came out because I want to talk to you, like on the side of the road, and I was just terrified.
Right.
My hands were shaking, and I'm like, I don't know what I did, but I'm really sorry.
Right.
So I can only imagine what she's going through. And then for them to do DUI, it's like, no, what?
She's doing the whatever they do, and
I'm sure people are slowing down to stare
Right.
because they do
She's like,
that.
what is going on? Why is this happening? And then he sneaks up behind her and does this.
That's so sweet. He's raising up the box.
The ring.
This girl's still shaking.
Says he's making her turn around. What the heck? Oh,
Look at her. This is where she's like, I'm walking away. Should I kick him? Oh, this is probably on camera.
yeah.
Should I swear at him? That's why my hands are over my mouth, because once again, it's on camera.
Oh.
You
Then
know,
she takes his gun and pistol whips him.
You know, she's whispering in his ear, I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
kill
kill
you when
you."
you're not on camera.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, look at her, though. Seriously, she drops to her knees because she's
Right.
that scared. I mean,
No, she's getting ready to be handcuffed because they.
no, look at her. That is not like, oh, yes. That is like, oh, thank God, because I really thought it was a DUI.
Really doesn't have good gun retention in that move, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
I would really keep an eye on that with her. I just don't think that's terrorizing, isn't it?
Isn't it? I'm sorry, but that would not be the one that I would have picked.
I'd be like,
But-
screw you.
Okay, well, yeah. Congratulations. Selfie-related injuries. How many of these have we seen now?
This is just a new lesson on our show.
You know, we've seen some of the most terrifying fatalities of people literally walking off mountain cliffs like this.
Yeah.
You know, taking their selfie of the panoramic view behind them. There's been people. One man fell off a building. I think it was 18 stories. None of this is really. And then, of course, we told you about the elephant that trampled two people attempting to take the selfie with them.
Right.
Well, the latest were a group of people who were injured by elk at a park in West St. Louis County.
I'll be with you
Lone
in
Elk
just a
Park is
second.
near Interstate 44. It's a popular place for people and photographers to visit. The elk roam free within the park, which is beautiful. And officials can see, you know, if you're visiting, they say, yeah, you can look at them a little closer, stay in your car, or stay a very respectful distance away.
Especially during mating season.
And then sometimes they just like to walk right up and fall on them and throw their arms around their neck and hug them like a brother.
Right.
Which is really not something that the
Don't do
wild
that.
animals like.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been taught that as a child. Nature photographer Kent Burgess is a nature photographer, so
Right.
he has an IQ slightly higher than this
Right.
because he
And
understands animal behavior.
Where's he standing?
So he is standing a good deal of distance away from a group of elk,
Right.
bull elk.
Oh, thanks.
Bull elk.
I thought I
And
had booger or
I
something.
wasn't sure either. As a hint,
Just
sometimes.
thanks.
And he said, I can hear the bulls making
That's
a
great.
distinct warning sound. So I'd like to tell you all that they're getting mad at you. The warning sound is basically saying back the hell off, and they're not.
Right.
They continue to huff.
Right.
And so, but the people were too busy turning their backs to the elk and holding their selfie stick like this.
And
To
what
get that
happens
picture.
next?
If you look at that expression on the elk's face, this is
Right.
not an expression of someone who likes you.
No.
The expression on its face as its teeth are bared at you
It's
is,
gonna hurt you.
I have very sharp horns and they're about to go
Right.
into your neck. So 2 people got trampled. A woman started screaming. She goes, my arm, ow, because they outgored her and then knocked her over.
It made contact.
So as the others were running away, the 2 people gripping their selfie sticks were getting kind of trampled into the snow
Nice.
with their hooves.
Could have been worse.
With their sharp
With their
hooves.
hooves.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. It was mating season. That would have been bad.
That would be a whole different kind of selfie stick injury.
Okay, so all right, so we keep telling these stories to you for a reason. You know, it's the
And nobody keeps
famous
listening.
pictures of bears being fed marshmallows out of car windows. You're not supposed to. So I'm going to help you out here. This is for the people who still don't get it. Okay, so
Is this going to be an important educational
it is.
graph?
It is.
All right.
I'm going to give you 3 things you can take selfies with. Okay? And one would be a starfish. A starfish is a great creature to take a selfie with. All right? Over
it doesn't
here.
really get that bitey. Yeah.
Yeah. And Erin, what's that?
Is that a snail?
That is a ladybug.
Oh, it's a ladybug.
Ladybug.
Hi,
Great,
sweetheart.
great thing.
Ladybugs are great to take selfies with.
Great thing.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm getting better at doing this upside down. I don't know if it's entertaining or not, but and what would that be?
That's a butterfly. How
That's
sweet.
right. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's review.
Uh-huh.
Take selfies with starfish, Erin,
Mm-hmm. Ladybug's good.
or
A butterfly. A butterfly is
right,
very good.
right. Not with elk, not with bison,
Not with bull elephants in Africa.
right?
Hey,
Don't-
how about with tarantulas and snakes?
Tarantulas and snakes.
Maybe not if you're like holding them.
Erin saw a snake eating a tarantula.
That was pretty
On
much
her
the
walk.
trifecta of because
Yeah.
we have rattlesnakes in the foothills around here, so you basically pay attention and try to stay away from stepping on them. They appreciate that.
And we have 7 different species of tarantulas,
And-
and they're out now. Why? Because they're mating.
And listen, the males are looking for some sweet, sweet loving right now, and
That's
they're
right.
not waiting for your foot to move past them. They're not. They're desperate.
don't
So if you see them, just walk past them because it's so sad.
A lot of people don't
We've
know.
all seen that last guy at the bar that just has that look on his face.
That's the tarantula?
That's the tarantula. So leave him alone.
A lot of
The
people-
guy's having a hard time.
People don't know the tarantulas do the thing.
They just do it
And then they go
different-
like this. Ah!
They do it differently.
They're all hands. They're all hands, ladies. Stay away from them.
all 8 of them.
All 8 of them. Okay.
How did we get into that?
I have no idea. Have you been drinking?
Okay, Oprah is no longer one of us.
You keep saying that.
Okay, look, every one of us knows the minute she started O Magazine. I mean, every single one of us knows the woman's a gazillion, quadrillion, bagillion.
She's got more money than you
There was a
need.
new financial
Yeah.
designation when Oprah became rich, and we all get that. We do, and I know, but I've always kind of thought she still had a lot of our sensibilities, and she got us.
Everybody
She got
gets a
us.
car.
She sees me, she sees you. But
Right.
so she was on Ellen the other day, and they were talking about fun things they'd done that week. And Ellen says, "What's something new that you haven't done for a
Right,
while?"
right,
and
right.
Oprah goes, "Well, the other day,
Uh-huh.
this week, I went in and I deposited some money in a bank."
Oh, she went to a
said-
bank.
She goes, "I have not done that personally for years." And Ellen goes, "Oh, that's great. How
So
much did you
go
deposit?"
down, yeah.
She goes, "Oh, $2 million." Anyway, so okay, we know you have all the money in the world. All the money belongs to
You own a third world nation.
We know this about you. But it just seemed really painful to watch someone go, "Oh, just $2 million."
Now, we had a discussion about this last
Because,
night.
if you just want to lose that on the street, I can pick it up. I'll just keep walking behind you as you drop them. How's that? Because
I think part of the interest with Ellen and with Oprah is I don't think anybody cares they have a lot of money. I think that they look at that as they're successful.
I don't care. I don't for 1 second resent either one of them for having their money. They
Right.
have both worked incredibly hard for the
Right,
success.
right.
They're both great with charities. We
Right.
both know they give back, which is a wonderful thing to see in a celebrity.
Right.
It's just, for
It
most of
bothers
us,
you a
it's
little.
painful to
Right.
go, "Oh, $2 million. It's nothing." It's just, for me, it's like, really? Because that would just change my entire life and the
Right.
life of everybody around me.
Right.
And it was like, okay.
It's kind of like
It was just a little. It's at that moment you know that they've gone over an edge none of us will ever see. I guess. It doesn't bug you at all.
None. It doesn't.
Not even a little twinge, like, oh.
You know what bugs me? Is when they ask a politician how much a loaf of bread costs, and they go 90 cents.
Oh, my maid's been shopping for that forever. I would have
They
no
haven't
idea.
been in a grocery store. It's like the guy the other day said you get $1,000 tax credit so you can remodel your kitchen.
Put
Or
your
you
kid
could-
through college.
Or get a car. And it's just like, what land do you live in? Remodel your kitchen. Really?
Well,
I
that's
think
not
the
enough.
average...
That's not enough, Congressman. Oh, well, then go to the money store and just get some more. I know.
The average remodel for a kitchen, even if you're going on the cheap, and trust me, it's like 15 grand. And I can do it for a lot less, but for normal people who don't do anything with it, they just watch someone, it's like 15 grand.
And
All
that's-
your appliances.
That's not going fancy.
Now, he's got $1,000 and you can rebuild your house. Put a pool in. Get a blimp. Yeah, just crazy.
Oh, it was a little painful.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Columbus Travel.
Oh, you got to watch this.
Now we had Larry
talked to
Gellison.
him. Yeah.
He's the getaway guru, and it's interesting. This guy is like so attuned to like every ship, and he talks about them like they're old friends. But he even got down to the point of where on the ship should you be if you go on a cruise? Columbus Travel will get you set up for the cruise in a ridiculously cheap way, but where then do you go on the ship?
Let's find out.
How many cabin types are there? There's so many selections. You have an inside cabin, no windows, no doors. Then there is an ocean view cabin, which will have a picture window, usually about 3 feet by 2 feet, something like that.
Right.
And then there's a balcony cabin where the outside wall is floor to ceiling, sliding glass doors with a private veranda or balcony.
That's what we had.
And then there's the Larry special, the penthouse or suites. I say, if the budget allows it, always go for the balcony. But there are some cruises where I think a balcony is more important than other cruises. An example. Days at sea, more than just one day at sea. It is so nice to have that view of the ocean and sitting out. So, Alaska.
Okay.
Now you say, I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on my balcony in Alaska.
Right.
True. But it is sensory overload because every day you're seeing God's creations out there.
Right.
I highly recommend a balcony for Alaska. Now, there are other cruises that are port intensive, where you're in a port every day. You get in at 8 o'clock in the morning. You may not leave till late at night. A balcony is not as critical then.
Point number 2, I always want to ask this because my mother is finally at the point where I can't make her walk across an entire ship just to get to the spa anymore.
Well, that's the second
she'd be all worn out.
consideration is the location of your cabin. Many of these ships will have 14 decks, and some of the larger ships are over 1,000 feet in length. Now, am I likely to be going to the spa, to the gym, to the library, to the pool, the sun deck? It's nice to be relatively close.
So what's point number 3? Because so far this has been pretty
This
easy.
is just for you. It's cabin amenities. Some have butlers or concierge.
I want a butler.
So when you're picking your perfect cruise cabin, the type and the size or the square footage of the cabin. Inside, ocean view, balcony, or suite. Second is the location on the ship. Third is what amenities. Some cabins, even balconies, will have free this and free that that come with it. That's
available.
where Columbus Travel can help you sort out what is the perfect cruise cabin. And you can go to our website at columbusvacations.com, columbusvacations.com, or give us a call in Bountiful at 800-373-3328. That's 800-373-3328.
All right, I want to go on a cruise. That's it. All right,
I
coming
know,
up.
doesn't that look amazing?
What's up with Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, he's coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
Oh, look how pretty. It was the leaves. It was
The leaves,
stream.
yes.
They were brought to you, of course, by Liberate a Man, Escape Adult Addiction for Good, www.liberateaman.com.
What did Matt Damon do?
Oh, okay. Harvey Weinstein, you've been seeing this, and if you don't know a lot about who Harvey Weinstein is, basically he's one of the 5 most powerful people in Hollywood. He owns the Weinstein Production Company, which is basically distributes all the major movies.
Produces them.
And this man is Bill Cosby to the nth degree.
He's bigger than that.
Over the years, he has not only sexually harassed women, he has actually sexually assaulted them and raped them.
He's been charged 4 counts of rape.
And the brutal thing about that is it was always young, vulnerable women who were like terrified. It was usually after he'd hired them for a job.
Movies,
and it was
Hollywood stuff.
And it was gross enough. It was at the point where he would assist a female associate, like go to his hotel suite with him. So if you're a young person, you're like, okay, there's another woman there.
Right.
I'm okay. They call that the honeypot. And then the associate leaves, I'm
Right.
sure probably knowing what's going to happen, and this girl is stuck there with him. And he's picking young
So-
girls in their 20s. Now, the thing that was really cool...
So they fired him out of his own company.
Yeah, and he said, oh, I'm ready for a comeback, and my wife is standing by me.
Right,
and
right.
Georgina Chapman left him yesterday, his wife, and said, my heart breaks for all the women who have suffered tremendous pain because of these unforgivable actions. I've chosen to leave my husband. Caring for my children is my first priority, and I offer my sincere apology to all of those who have suffered. So no, she's not putting up with it. Now, here's the problem with Matt Damon. He got nailed pretty hard by a couple of pretty reputable companies. New York Times was going to do a big piece, a reveal piece on Harvey Weinstein 7 years ago, saying
Right.
this is what's happening. They
Right.
had actresses who are willing to stand up and say this is what's happening. And Harvey Weinstein pressured Matt Damon into calling the writer and trying to get her to kill the story. Now, here's the deal. Poor Matt, I'm actually believing him. He's been married to this nice woman he fell in love with. She was a waitress. They've been married for well over 10 years. They have 4 daughters. He has an excellent reputation in Hollywood, and he had actually contacted the writer to talk about another subject in the story. It had nothing to do with Weinstein at all. And she actually concurred. There's a Twitter here where she actually says, no, I did not talk to him about that. This isn't his fault. She said, I endorse Matt Damon's statement. He called me briefly, but he wasn't informed about the investigative aspect of the piece. So
This is 7 years ago, right?
he's basically, yeah, so he's off the hook. But here's the deal. Comedian Seth MacFarlane made it clear this is a well-known thing in Hollywood. He was hosting the Oscars 4 years ago, and he announced the Best Female Oscar nominees.
Right.
Now, once you get to that point, you're pretty much bulletproof. And he basically said, congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein. There was dead silence in the entire auditorium.
Whoa.
And then people started laughing nervously like, oh. So people have known for a long time, which grosses me out. And finally, when this story came out and broke this week, Rosanna Arquette was one of the people, Rose McGowan, and Ashley Judd. Now, we talked
Also.
about this a bit yesterday, that Ashley Judd just left Hollywood. When he assaulted her, she went, I'm done. I don't need
up
to
with
do
this
this
crap.
with you for a job. And you remember, she was a high-profile actress. She was doing really well when he went after her. And she went, it's not worth it. And Rose McGowan got, I guess, $100,000 out-of-court settlement from him. Where he goes, well, I'm not admitting anything. But
So,
this is
so
just to
they
make you
actually
happy.
they actually did track all the payments that they paid off and stuff. So Angelina Jolie and Paltrow are in the news now.
Angelina Jolie, they contacted her, and because they said, we heard you warned a lot of actresses to stay away from him. She went, yeah, and she had not come forward, but she said, he did assault me. She said, I never worked with him again. I wouldn't even speak to him. And for a lot of these women, you still see pictures with them. Gwyneth Paltrow, for instance, has her arm around him, and she's posing with him as recently as 3 years ago.
Do they all know? I mean, does everyone know this?
They pretty much know. Here's my only hard thing with Gwyneth Paltrow. And once again, I'm not trying to blame the victim, but she came forward and she was like, this kind of treatment ends now. And she did this big spearhead movement, like she was leading the charge and she was the figurehead of having been assaulted. You're the childhood daughter of 2 incredibly famous actors, and you had a considerable amount of power. Brad Pitt was your boyfriend. So for her, and she never said anything, and she kept working with him and going on with it. For
Right.
her to stand up now and act like she's the
You
hero
think
for
you
speaking
think
up.
it was
You could have spoken out for those other people who had zero power.
Instead of standing by.
Yeah. They had
Complacency.
They had zero power, and you stood by, and you still posed with this guy with your arm around him like he was the nicest man in the world, and you knew what he did because he did it to you. And I'm trying not to blame her because that's blaming the victim. It is.
See someone going into the same trap that you got caught in.
Yeah, but I don't think standing up and pretending you're the leader of the movement now is good. But in any case, so now
it makes you uncomfortable.
And he was big with politics. He helped elect President Obama. He did
Democrat all the way.
A great deal of fundraising for Hillary
Right.
Clinton. Both Obama and Clinton stood up yesterday and they said, "We're disgusted. We're nauseated. We had no idea. We apologize to everybody involved." And Obama actually just made a $5 million donation to Rape Crisis Center in California and said, "I believe, I have to check my records, but I believe this is the amount of money he donated to my campaign, and I want nothing to do with it."
They were also talking to other people about should they return the money, and the answer would be hell no. Why don't you use it like Obama did and help people in this situation?
Yeah, don't return it to him.
He's just going to use it on lawyers.
Yeah.
Just take his money, use it for good, make something happen.
Exactly. Yeah, don't return it to him.
Absolutely
That's the
not.
last person who you should have it back. Give it to somebody who needs it. Like, yeah, exactly. Women's centers, rape
All right,
crisis.
time for information.
Anyway, so it's going to get worse, but I'm really happy it came out because secrets like this, the fact that it went on with Bill Cosby forever, going on with him, it's like this is that awful culture where it's like you put your head down and you just try to keep going because you don't see a way out.
Right.
And so, thank you for not being that kind of man.
Why would I?
Because there's more of you than there are of him. But when you see them, you're happier than ever that you have someone like you.
You're just all sweet on me.
I love you. I really am. And thank you for raising our daughter to know that this is not going to be acceptable.
That's incredibly important.
That's everything. Okay, we're going to go to Daisy now. She's in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. Forgive me for my diatribe, but mothers probably understand. Brought to you by Thinkin McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to think-mcgregor.com, there's like a 4-minute quiz, and when you finish it, it will tell you all the different mortgage options that are open to you, and someone will call you from Thinkin McGregor on the next business day. Also brought to you by To Liberate a Man. You can escape adult addiction for good. This is not a path you're going to find anywhere else. You can reclaim your life, your family, your happiness, and your legacy. Go to liberateaman.com. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. This is the time of year you really need to turn things on or shut things off. You can go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, what's going on?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's what's making national and world news Wednesday, October 11th on GephartDaily.com. At least 17 people are dead in the Northern California wildfires, but authorities warn that number will probably rise as more than 100 people are missing. The fires have burned more than 122,000 acres so far, forcing 20,000 people to flee their homes. Today will be another tough one for firefighters. There's no rain forecast this week, and winds are expected to gust to 40 miles an hour the next few days. Police in Las Vegas now say the gunman who shot and killed 58 people and wounded nearly 500 others also fired special incendiary bullets at a $43,000 barrel jet fuel tank at nearby McCarran Airport. Those types of rounds meant to ignite what they hit were found inside the shooter's room at the Mandalay Bay Resort. Authorities previously disclosed the shooter had struck a tank with 2 rifle rounds, but did not disclose he used incendiary rounds. Police say even if the rounds had pierced the tank, it probably would not have exploded. And NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has issued a memo to all 32 teams on Tuesday, asking them to stand during the national anthem. Goodell wrote that the league believes everyone should stand for the anthem, calling it an important moment in the game. We want to honor our flag and our country, Goodell said, and that fans expect that of players. Goodell went on to say the NFL also cared deeply about its players and respected their opinions, but the controversy over the anthem was a barrier to making real progress on the underlying social issues. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
It goes, everybody. There we go.
Okay, Black Diamond Experts. The reason why I like these guys is because, number one, there's nothing in your house they can't fix.
And they're trained. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. So when they come to your house, you feel comfortable letting them in. You know who they are. And when they give you a bid, they'll say, hey, it's going to take this much to fix it. And you get the job done to your satisfaction. They hand you the bill, and it's exactly what they quoted you. How many of you have had a quote, and when it comes back and the bill's like dramatically higher, and they go, oh, that was just a quote? Just a quote. Yeah, they don't do that. They stand by their word and they take care of you. Obviously, they're Gephardt approved, so you know they've got the backing of Bill. And the nice thing is they've also got a brand new shop up in Ogden, so they're even closer to you should you need them. 24-hour service because there's always an emergency at 2 in the morning. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com.
Hey, I'm being gouged at the ATM.
Oh,
the public
yes.
says.
Yes, you are.
I haven't used an ATM, I think, in a long time.
When's the last time you remember? Because you did it every now at 7-Eleven when you'd get your coffee and then you'd like, oh, you would get cash or something. When do you?
What I remember is they would charge me $1.50. It was a long time.
You know what the average price is now nationwide?
$2.50.
No.
$3. How much?
Nationwide, it's $4.60.
What?
Here in Utah, it is $4.95. We are the highest ATM bank rate in the country.
Why?
Up to $5 just to get your cash out.
If it's not your bank, is that how it works?
If it's not your bank, if it's your bank, you're fine. They're not going to charge you.
What about 7-Eleven?
Oh yeah, they charge you. I don't know if it's as high. I think theirs is still hovering around 3.
So when you do it, you get a lot of money out. For us, it'd be $7.52. You get a lot of it out, so you don't have to get it out a couple different times.
Or you could just go to your own bank and do it there, or credit union, which is probably smaller. But our closest credit union is downtown.
Right.
So it's a certain amount of time to get there, and if you just need the cash in a hurry, but up to $5.
$5.
We're $4.95. We are the highest in the country.
Why?
I don't know why. Other than we're all either desperate and our banks and credit unions are really far away, or they think we're suckers.
That is a gouging.
But yeah, if you're feeling like you're getting gouged, you are. Sorry about that wound in your side. It's because you are getting gouged.
All right, here we go. Coming up. Guess what? There's coffins all over New Orleans. Okay,
well, everybody knows that.
Someone's got a gourd the size of your head. And you want to go see the Titanic in person?
Underwater.
It's coming next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
We love New Orleans, Erin and I do. And they've got something going on every Saturday. Now, if you've ever been there, it's kind of voodoo, it's kind of old, it's kind of creaky. There's
beautiful crypts, amazing architecture, very
cemeteries
dark and
are
old school feeling.
Unbelievable, the architecture. Oh my gosh. Charles Street, and we were down there just like a week before Katrina came through. And so anyway, what they're doing now is they have a game going on Saturdays, and so you get a team together, and what they're doing is they're
here a game like that would involve like maybe going hiking up in the mountains and finding leaves or something. This is New Orleans.
They take little coffins, little tiny coffins, and they hide them. They hide them in the city, and then they give you clues. So they're basically directing you around to cool places in the town, in the city, to kind of experience a lot more. And here, geocaching, what is it called?
Geocaching.
Geocaching, and they use a GPS unit. You can use your phone at this point, but basically it'll give you directions, longitude, latitudes, and you go and try to find the thing. One year I was in City Creek Canyon. I went over to look at the stream, and I found this. It was a container about this big, like a little flashlight. And had a screw on it, and you'd put like matches in it for when you're camping, and it was a camouflage.
I remember you telling me about this.
And I opened it up. There was a note inside, and right at that moment, 3 people walked up with wrist armbands on. They were purple, and I'm looking at them, and they looked at me, and I was.
This is for you.
What? Where's your armband? I don't understand what armbands are for. And they go, we're geocaching, and that's it. I went, okay, here you go. because I didn't know.
Thanks.
It's like one of the first times I'd come across it. But these guys, they put them in the creepiest places in New Orleans, and they give you clues. And when you find it, you get what's inside. Plus, there's a clue at the end of the month. You show up, and all the pieces come together, and it gives you a whole nother deal.
Can you imagine how long that would take to like set up each piece of that, because it's so intricate.
So
and
no
there's
one
many
finds
things
it.
Yeah, so many things involved.
By accident.
But I love the fact that it's little coffins, because people in New Orleans would walk by going, "Oh, it's another little
Yeah,
coffin."
another coffin. Yeah.
Here we go, it's a coffin! And
Yeah.
they're like,
It's another mouse coffin. This guy.
Why does this excite you so much? You were giggling like a schoolgirl
You
yesterday.
should be. You should be excited about this, because fall is the time when, like, a lot of people have put their fruit and vegetable gardens to bed because the weather's too cold and stuff. And a lot of people have green tomatoes sitting in their kitchen right now. And
Snow on Saturday.
waiting to the, don't say that. Providence, Rhode Island. They have a competition every year like they do here, growing large things. This guy is unbelievable. He, Joe Jutras, he has won many times, many years in a row, many years.
He's a gourd master.
He's a gourd master,
He's
pumpkin
the master of pumpkins and large things.
He just turned in the world's record at 2,118 pounds of a giant squash. I think the word, now these are just examples.
No, those are just the wimpy
That's
pumpkins that he's grown in the past. These are just some of the like.
These
little,
are losers.
Yeah, the 1,100-pound pumpkin, 1,600-pound pumpkin. Please, that's nothing.
Yeah, so please.
Especially now that he's gone into the ton. That's a ton. He has a ton of squash. He literally, and we're not talking figuratively anymore, has a ton of squash.
A ton of squash. And what they'll
Is there
do.
like a dent in his field? I mean,
well, they don't look really good because they're flat, sort of.
I can imagine.
So anyway, the deal is that he's got all these other records that he sent over the years. And here's the interesting thing. He said he credits his new soil cultivation technique. And man, they are secret about this. And
I bet.
He also took
like nutrients and stuff and different fertilizers.
He grew one the year before, and what they do with these big pumpkins, I don't know if you know, but they sell the seeds.
Well, that makes sense.
To other growers.
But it's like a record prize horse.
It's like horses.
You would want him to sire new horses.
It's like horses, except
right?
siring doesn't look the same.
No.
And so they give him the green jacket because he wins.
No way, that's
so they have
so
a green
cute.
jacket like in golf. So there is other competitions too. And one of them
These people really like their produce.
Yeah, one of them is the longest gourd.
How did that become a thing?
It's always been a thing. He's got 126 and a half inches of gourd.
That's a lot of gourd.
I'm not going to say anything at this point. I'm just going to stare at the camera blankly. Okay.
I feel like a high school boy right now.
Yeah. Who wants to go to the Titanic? You do. Who wants to go see? You saw the movie. You see why she doesn't move over on that door and lets Jack die?
Because they both would come off, they fall off and die. We saw that. Jack tried to get on and it didn't work out. And then he said, I love you so much and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to do it.
She didn't try hard enough. If they really loved each other. You want to go? Do you want to go see the Titanic? I'm serious, just like in the movie. Remember the documentary where they go down, stop the face,
so
and they go down and they go through in the ballroom and the grand staircase and the pilot house and that.
The new submersibles are incredible. Yeah, there's so many different places they
incredible.
can go because they're so small and they're very nimble.
So you take this submersible, you turn it into a big submersible, and you put people in it, and you actually go down to the Titanic. It takes 6 hours to get there. Yes. And how much would you pay for that? How much do you think that would cost?
I don't have the same fascination with the Titanic that most people do.
Some people.
But if you're a major freak, like our friend who's a ghost hunter, Tom Carr,
Right.
this is his Mount Everest he needs to climb. And for him, right. I can imagine any amount of money. I bet it's expensive though. Submersibles are ridiculously expensive, and then you have to boat people out there. So I don't know, at least a few thousand.
Right. So Titanic was discovered 32 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it takes 6 hours in the submersible that has been specially made for this. First voyage is already booked in full. They're going to do another one in 8. This is, by the way, at the end of this year. They're doing it.
Oh,
And
wow, that's soon.
They're already scheduling the next ones.
Okay.
$105,000 per person. So I'm assuming you get pillow and peanuts with that.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
But you get to go down.
$105,000. That's like the cost of one of the seats on the first commercial space capsule.
Right, right.
So you can either go to the bottom of the ocean or you can go up into the stars. $105,000 to see the Titanic.
Right. A lot of people are saying they want to do it. They want to go down. 90-minute descent. I'm sorry, I was getting way carried away there. But this is the weird thing.
It's probably 6 hours to go out there, get it into the thing.
This is the weird thing. There is such a fascination. There's museums all over the place. You know, there's the debris field. They're going to take you over that. They're going to take you down the long bow over to the stern and the port and the starboard and all the stuff. There is a full-size Titanic that has been built in China
freaking way.
On a lake.
I wouldn't want to get on it.
What?
I'm sorry.
It doesn't move.
That's amazing.
And it just sits
and
there.
They did a full-size recreation?
That includes the ballroom, theater, swimming pool, and you stay on it.
I don't get on that shit. Mm-mm.
Not on a cold day where there's an iceberg coming
Isn't that interesting? And James Cameron, when he did the Titanic, when he did the movie, he was only tapping into the fascination that's been there since it sank in the early 1900s.
Right, right.
And but it's like there are a myriad of ships that sank. There were ships with more casualties, I believe, but there was something about that particular one that was so harrowing and so dramatic and so tragic.
Maiden voyage.
That's amazing.
All right, we are going to make you smile.
It's more like a cry.
And this is a cool story. Why don't you give them some of the facts before we show them?
Okay. There's a video of an adorable girl,
Right.
Tana Butterfield.
Don't
She's
tell
a
her
sixth
why
grader.
yet. Don't tell them why yet.
National attention. This is a video that's gone viral, and
She's got a family. She's got a sister who's 6.
since Todd and I have stood in a judge's chambers and gone
through this.
had this experience,
Had
we
this
understand.
experience. And
I can
so
do it now.
she's got a 6-year-old sister, another one who's 2.
Her brother Tegan, and
He's
then
11.
and sister Tally.
Right.
And
They're in the foster program.
well, here's the deal. It was a parental rights case that lasted more than 2 years. 2 years. And the Butterfield siblings had been waiting and waiting and waiting, and they wanted this. They wanted it very, very much. They wanted to be with this family.
So this means that Tally, her youngest sister, is 2, was an infant when this started.
Now, Jackie Alexander is the school's office manager, and she'd gotten really close to the family, and
Right.
she'd been through a lot of the ins and outs and a lot of the court dates and all the
Right.
things that have gone through it. Now, this wasn't filmed like with a family camera ready to go or anything. She had gotten the word, and the mom had given permission, and she came up to Tana and she said, "You got your forever family, honey." And Tana screams. This was caught on a school security camera,
Right.
and jumps into her arms.
Here, just watch.
You have to watch this.
Watch this.
I love this woman. I was talking to her on Instagram to get permission.
Oh, it's so great.
And she said it was like the greatest day of her life.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching. We're going to leave it, like most of our shows, crying and wincing at our performance. But you guys just have a great day. Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GetPartHere.com.